Yo, what is up? We are back. We got Waruna in the house. What up, Waruna?
I'm doing good. Finally, glad I didn't get a heart attack during the weekend, so I'm alive and kicking.
Yeah. Um, we got E Kim in the house. What up, E Kim? Appreciate you stopping in. Um, let's get into some of these topics. Um, right into it. Out of the gate. Waruna, are the Ravens too good?
I mean, they are just the right. The right now they are the perfect football team that you want. They have injuries. Let's not forget they are dealing with injuries, but still the way they played, the demonstration. So they were coming into the game as the number one seed. Texans, after very impressive win against the Browns defense. Yes, Browns defense are not playing very well away, but still, Texans were coming with a hot and firing young QB who is probably going to be in the top five conversation in a couple of seasons or maybe sooner than that. So Texans were really hot and firing coming into this game. I watched the predictions, so on and so forth, and everyone was predicting, okay, Ravens are going to win, but it would be a close game, let's say 30-23, something like that. But boy, Lamar Jackson, he really took care of the football. He played the perfect game. Then the defense, 34-10, and you need to remember the touchdown that Texans scored came off a punt return. Was it a punt return or kick return? As far as I remember, it was a punt return. So, yes, it still counts as a touchdown, but literally it was end of the day like 34-3 win. And CJ Stroud, I believe he played well. His receivers, dropped a couple of passes here and there, uh, but still he couldn't get anything going. Ravens literally choked and strangled, stuffed up the Texans offense. So it was really impressive. When you look at things outside your fan hat in general at NFL, this Ravens team is wonderful to watch.
Yeah, they're definitely something to watch. Real quick, before I get into my thoughts, I want to give a shout out to CarCast in the house. What up, CarCast? Everybody watching, if you don't know, CarCast has his own 49ers channel. Make sure to go and check him out and subscribe. Got John LaJoy in the house. John, I was just on his channel. So if you guys aren't doing anything later, you can go back on John's channel and check our show out. Make sure to like and subscribe. Show support. He's got a channel, 49ers. Bang, here we go. We got Don Dodson in the house, the moderator supreme. What up, Don? Appreciate you stopping in. We got 49ers Jive. 49ers Jive in the building saying, what up, faithful? Jumping around to every 49ers 49er podcast I can find tonight. Good job. Way to do the Lord's work, sir. Appreciate you. Take care of our family. He says Ravens D line is stupid good. Yes, they are, and the secondary is no slouches. They got some safeties who are on top of some things. So, oh, we got Jason in the house. What up, Jason? And we got Bebop. Bebop in the house. What up, Bebop? Hey, Bebop, check the Discord. I was asking some questions. Want to see if you might want to be the moderator. Oh, shoot. We got Bashar in the house. What up? We got Bashar, 49er Minded. Make sure to go and check him out. You will find me doing a show with him tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. I can't remember whose channel it's on. It's probably either me or his. I'm not sure. Might be mine this time. But yeah, Are the Ravens too good? Well, they are nasty. Are they too good? No. We saw them get stifled in the beginning and suffocated just like the Ravens suffocated the Houston Texans. But what happened is the Ravens figured out how to get it done. And once they were able to get some consistency in moving the ball, and they had a couple long drives, it was kind of over. The Houston defense couldn't withstand being out on the field all that time. They had to give up something eventually. So you saw what happened. Okay, we might have one more. But yeah, I think. Sorry, I gotta remember where I was at after all that.
So basically, how good the Texans defense, the Ravens defense were at the same
Yeah,
time, uh, how it eventually turned out. Texans had to give up.
yeah. So if you want to beat them, you're gonna have to play great football, all 4 quarters on defense, and your offense is gonna have to put up some sort of sustainable drives across the 50. Like even if you can, if even if you gotta like kick field goals, your offense has to stay out there to give your defense a breather because when they go on that field with Lamar Jackson, they have to be going 100%, 100% of the time. So to have any sort of hope and deal with them, and I don't, I think once you put them in a box like that, and if you can stop them from scoring and you can score, you're gonna break their morale, or you've got a chance to. Like you can't absolute anything, but you've got a chance to break their morale, and that's like the only sure way you've got of winning against that team is breaking their morale. Would you say, Waruna? Because if they've
I
got a
think,
fight left in them, they got a chance.
yeah, but yeah, that's true. But the thing with Ravens is, it seems like they have peaked in the right time, as well as they have found the right frequency. Everyone is tuned with the same frequency. Like Lamar Jackson is literally. I haven't seen. I mean, I have seen his MVP season, but I remember the game during the playoffs when he lost. He was, I think, he had almost 300 yards passing plus rushing yards during that 2019 season, but he was trying to do too much on his own. I mean, he had stats, but he was not going along with his team. His team was not gelling together. But this time it's different. Lamar Jackson is on a mission. He's going to prove to everyone in NFL, okay, you guys disrespected me way too much. Okay, this year is my year. I'm going to prove it to you. I mean, again, as a 49er fans, that's worrying, but I most of the time I try to be an NFL fan, football fan. I support my team when they play, but when I watch football, I try to I let myself be amazed, admired with what is on the field. So that's why I really like what Lama and Ravens are doing. So I think they are the number one team at the moment. So it would be really hard to stop them. Uh, Even with the Chiefs, and if they get to the Super Bowl, uh, I would say probably it would be their Super Bowl to lose.
49ers Jive says, I don't know. Finally, a good playoff game from Lamar. Dude still has some demons on the big stage. He looked like he was reverting back to the run first there in the second half. Yeah, I guess there is some truth in that, which you don't want to see that run first in Lamar come out because you want him to do things with his arms first, or with his arm first. But still, like we saw it won him the game. Okay. Um, appreciate that comment though.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next topic. One I know Waruna is waiting for here. Um, did Josh Allen do enough?
Man,
We
this is
we
the
were
this,
talking, we were texting back and forth, and you were dropping some curse words. So
yes.
here's your chance.
Yeah, because I was pretty annoyed with Tony Romo and broadcasting crew. It's like they couldn't even praise Josh Allen without mentioning Lamar Jackson. Patrick Mahomes in the same sentence. I don't know why, because it seemed like I was checking on Twitter and there were some comments. I don't think I can say it out loud in YouTube, but there were some comments from other people. They felt the same because I mean, these broadcasters, even for example, let's say Mahomes went into the sideline after play. Let's say he's having some water, right? The Tony Tomo would be right. Do you see that? Do you see that? Mahomes is so focused on his game. He makes sure he's hydrated. I have never seen such a highly enthusiastic uh, quarterback who is so focused on his game. I mean, look at how well he is hydrated. He had 70, let's say, 1 ounces of water just 2 minutes ago. After this drive, he is going to have another, let's say, 5 minutes of water, ounces of water. That's how good he is. So I mean, it's way too crazy. It's way too crazy. But so I sidetracked a bit. So I was mad watching that game, but so I was literally hoping, okay, finally, can Bills beat Chiefs? It didn't happen. Now coming back to the Josh Allen, I think he played a great game, and he did more than enough in a certain way. But given what happened, the last two plays he screwed up. That's all I can say because he's a leader of this team. Yes, Stefan Diggs big time drop, Sherfield two drops, the kicker miss, so on and so forth. But end of the day, even the kicker kicked that field goal, Mahomes would come back and score, win the game because they were just uh, tying up the game 27 each. So Allen had to go for the touchdown in a sensible way because I really liked. I mean, we are going to talk about the Niners game in a bit, but I really liked what Kyle Shanahan did during our last drive because they were literally making sure they are not giving too much time to Green Bay to come back and score. Because I thought even because we scored, CMC scored at that time. The remaining clock time was 107. Most probably, if Green Bay tackled at that point, CMC would have been stopped within another 3 yards. So it would be first and goal, 3 yards to go. They would have, I mean, drained that clock. Even Green Bay wouldn't have left with, I would say, 30 seconds. I mean, they managed during that uh, final drive, Niners managed the clock really well. But in this scenario, I think what Allen should have done is because when he turned over the football, they still had like 1 minute 55 seconds after kicker missed the field goal. So if he took that check down option and methodically went ahead, maybe result would have been different. So that's why I'm bit. I'm saying that Alan would have done bit more, but I mean, yes, it's not his fault that they lost the game. I'm not saying that it's Josh Allen's fault. Bills lost the game, but still, still, he could have made better decisions during those two plays, and the result would have been different.
I we were talking backstage. I think Allen needs to not have the the weight of the team on his shoulders in the last couple minutes because he's 50-50. Oh, first thing, hold on. Got to give a shout out. What up, John V? Appreciate you stopping by. What is up? Um, I don't it seems like it's a 50-50 when he has to come down in the end, and either you're going to be excited or you're going to be disappointed. And if you can take that out of his hands beforehand, like with the field goal or without dropping the pass, if he could have thrown a better ball on, what was it, second down? If that remember that second down play where the
Yes.
ball was just out ahead of the receiver right in the end zone,
Yeah.
like that would have been end of the game.
Yeah.
But he can't make it then. Um, who was it? Niners Jive said Allen looked like he was playing not to lose there at the end. It was unfortunate. I don't know. I don't remember thinking that, but that doesn't mean that he's not right here. But that could also be something that people do that loses them the game at times. Kyle can do this at time. Remember you
I
said
have
you
a,
liked
I
how
have a
remember how you said you liked how Kyle came out on that last drive
yes.
and he ran the clock down. Well, not only did he need to run the clock down, he needed to sustain a damn drive. And how did he do it? By running the ball. He could have done that all game. And why now all of a sudden does he have to come through at the end and put a whole bunch of run plays together and all of a sudden for us to win? Why couldn't we be doing that in the second quarter? Why couldn't we be doing that in the third quarter? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I just have one counter argument to 49ers Jive comment. So I think what Alan did was during that game until that final drive, he was playing really safely, not because he was afraid, but I think he was concerned about the turnovers that he was making because uh, I can't remember who made this point, but someone on the broadcasting crew during the Steelers game. So it made sense at the time because sometimes you cannot judge Josh Allen based on the stats because he would do this he would make this boneheaded throws, right? Get picked, make a couple of turnovers, but at the end of the game, when you really needed him to step up, he will do it. He's kind of like Brett Favre in that sense. I do agree with that, but during this game he was trying to minimize that kind of plays. Yes, he took a couple of downfield shots. I mean, unfortunately Diggs did not catch it, but usually you see Allen taking too many down the field throws and make sometimes the throws that makes you wonder, okay, whether that was the best decision or not. But until up to that last drive, he was doing it well. I mean, Bills had the control of the game. But during that last two plays, the the usual Josh Allen came back. He tried to play the hero ball. I agree with Kim's comment. He needed to do less. He needed to do less during that last two plays. But the old Josh Allen came out and eventually they didn't convert that first down. That's the end of the story.
Okay. To the next topic. Did the 49ers get lucky?
Yes, 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 yes. Did they get lucky? But is it something to be embarrassed? No, because the narrative is like, okay, oh, Niners were extremely lucky to be getting to the NFC Championship game. They don't deserve to be there. Okay, they lost to this youngest team in the NFL in so many years. So Green Bay is the number seven, I mean, seven seed, so on and so forth. I see so many arguments, but that's why I wanted to bring up this. Were they lucky? That the narrative. It's fucking
I don't
not.
think
It's fucking not.
I don't think they got lucky.
Yes, because I
I
wanted to
don't think they
address
got
that
lucky.
narrative. I wanted to address that narrative
Okay.
because end of the day, it's not Niners' issue that Green Bay has the youngest team in NFL without any veterans or any experienced players. That's not our issue. It's not our issue that Green Bay has a young quarterback who is still, I mean, who had his first season as a regular starter. It's not our issue. I mean, every day when you play, this is playoff football. So you play the team that is in front of you. The team, the opposition that turns up on the given day can be totally different. That's we have seen that. I mean, uh, during the 2021 season, I mean, Chiefs they had a big lead, but then out of nowhere, Bengals who were 10-7 team during the regular season, they won the game and they went to the Super Bowl. So that happens. So calling Niners win, oh, this is lucky. They don't deserve this is just pure hatred, I would say. Because end of the day, win is a win, unless otherwise it's based on some, uh, let's say, very stupid mistake by referees, like the NFC Championship game assume 2018 when Rams went to the Super Bowl. The Rams defender tackled the Saint receiver, or the game, I mean, this regular season game versus Lions and the Cowboys, the 2 point I mean, 2 point attack. If you lost the game during the something similar to that kind of a play, then that's fine, that's justified. You can say, okay, Niners were lucky, so and so forth, but it's not, because it's not our fault that Daniel Savage didn't catch that interception. It's not Niners' fault. I don't think anyone in the Niner players in the stadium are, hey, Daniel, don't catch that. You are not supposed to catch interceptions. No, it's not. So Niners went there. It's an ugly win, but still, Niners were the end of the day. They took the chances that came their way, and they took care of the business. That's it. So I don't think Green Bay doesn't have any fucking business coming out here and say, oh, you don't deserve this. That's why I really wanted to address this. No, Niners were not lucky.
Okay.
They went there, their experienced players, when it matters, showed up and they won the game.
So yeah, I don't. We deserved to be down all that time during the game. Our play was not good enough to deserve being ahead. We deserved to win that game because at the end, we went down and we put that ball in the end zone to get more points than them. We deserved it. We had a heads up play when Jordan Love threw that horrible pass. Dre Greenlaw heads up play. That's something you deserve. Lucky is when you get something either you don't deserve or that you weren't expecting and it just falls in your lap. That's lucky. Or like winning the lotto where the odds are so not in your favor that you actually win. That's lucky. 49ers weren't in any of those situations. They were accountable for all the losing quarters and they were accountable for the winning quarter. The last one. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I see it. Um
Exactly, because
Go ahead.
most of the time when people want to make arguments, they just take the portions that fits their narrative. For example, the snow game when Niners went to another championship game back in 2021 when we beat Packers at Lambeau. I mean, yes, we scored a touchdown from special teams, but still, On that day, Aaron Rodgers had wide receivers open that he didn't pull the trigger. He was looking for Devontae Adams, but he had other receivers wide open. Rodgers just melted down. He did not pull the trigger. So that's not luck. Yes, because still our special teams had to make that play and score that touchdown. That's not luck. That's skill. Then their quarterback still had the opportunity to, uh, bring together game-winning drive. He couldn't. It's simple as that. End of the day, it's purely skill. Uh, Nothing to do with luck. It seems like luck when, especially this luck factor is bringing to the conversation when you lose. So that's why I hate it. It's nothing to do with luck. The team took their chances, won it. You had your chances, you didn't. Sorry, you are not playing next week, and we are playing next week. That's it. It's that simple.
I was just showing the things I got for Corey and Laura Cat. Um, so let's get into the QB performance. I'm guessing you want to talk about Brock,
Yes,
right? And then
both.
tell you what,
I would say both.
QB
Yes.
performance, and then we're gonna go into can he do it next week. So let's you start with that, and then you can go into can he do it next week whenever you want. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I just wanted to address Jordan Love. I think he played really well, probably for 3.5 quarters, maybe 3 quarters, but at the end he faltered.
3.5.
But it's fine because
Yep.
you could see the conditions were same. I mean, the rain and everything. Brock struggled with the rain until that last drive, but Jordan Love didn't seem to have any issue. He really played well, and the thing is that I really liked about Jordan Love's play is that he looks so calm. He looks so poised because now. I don't think people give enough credit for that, how well he handled it, even though he was a losing quarterback. There is a saying to know how well, the value of light, you need to know about the dark, right? If you watch how
Oh,
Dak Prescott plays during playoffs, then you know how good a guy like Jordan Love plays during the playoff. There is a stark difference because Dak Prescott is a guy who he's a veteran literally in NFL, but he still shits the bed when it comes to playoffs. But Jordan Love just making his second start, uh, his first season as a regular starter, and he looked really calm. He made the throws. I think uh, up until that fourth quarter, he put his team into a winning position. That's how it goes. So that's about Jordan Love. I really love the guy. I hope probably he keep on improving. So it's gonna be really good for the NFL. So let's get back to Brock. So now it's crazy. Today I watched. I usually don't watch national media too much because sometimes they go to the lengths that you can't imagine. But now everyone is either on the side of Purdy or against Purdy. That's what
yep.
really kind of pisses me off because there is no middle ground. Was Brock Purdy bad during first 3 quarters? Yes. I mean, if you watch the game, you saw
I
how he played.
I
He
would
was over. Go ahead.
I wouldn't say he was bad, but he wasn't the consistent Brock Purdy that we know.
Yes.
And there was something
Yes.
going on. There was
Yes.
something going on.
Yes. Literally, compared to what the Brock Purdy that we know, it was totally off. That's fine.
There
But
was one
then,
drive. There was one drive where it looked right, and then I was like, "Oh, he's in the zone. He's got it. He's ready to go. He's flowing, and then we didn't see anything like that until the last drive when Christian McCaffrey went in from 5 yards out.
Yes. So then he did it. I mean, he got it done. So whatever the things that people make him like this system QB argument that they don't realize. I mean, yes, Jimmy won with the Niners. That's fine, but he really had one good year, that 19. After each year after that, he literally struggled. Niners struggled. They literally had to crawl back, get into the playoffs. We saw that, but Brock is not that. Brock is contributing to this team because I mean probably during this around 7th or 8th week, Kyle Shanahan said, I mean he is usually one who did not speak bad of Jimmy G until very recently, but in public. But he said, okay, not directing to, I mean, not mentioning Jimmy. He said, okay, Brock Purdy is a guy who is not get carried by his team. He contributes in his coach's own word. You know that the way Shanahan is scheming things up, planning games and everything, he trusts Purdy. So that's why he's more than a, I mean, let's say he's a system quarterback, but even if he's a system quarterback, he adds value to that system. He's just not there to execute. He adds value to the system. So that's what Purdy is. So during that game, that's what we saw. So eventually, he came through. He pulled through. So the other thing is what I wanted to address is before we get to what can Purdy do it next week. Now everyone wants to make him either Joe Montana or Mahomes or whatever the elite level, and or basically a shit quarterback. So these are the two extreme ends right now available on Twitter. So there is no middle ground. So I'm going to say this: can Brock Purdy win the Super Bowl for 49ers this season? Yes, absolutely yes. He can win. He can be the quarterback for San Francisco 49ers who is going to win the sixth Lombardi trophy. He can be that guy because I believe he has showed that. But it doesn't make him another Patrick Mahomes, Allen's, even CJ Stroud, I would say. I think CJ Stroud in couple of years you will see how different he is. I think probably Jordan Love as a quarterback will pass Brady. That's totally fine. You don't have your quarterback to be like uh, similar to these other elite level quarterbacks. Only thing you need is if you have a good team, if you have good coaches, and if your quarterback can execute and add value to the system, that's it. It doesn't. Other than that, I think it should not matter whether this quarterback can do it or not, because end of the day, it's not about something like the Super Bowl is awarded based on the QB performance. If we let's say if it is something like, okay, we play regular season football, and end of the day we rank the quarterbacks and hand it over to Patrick Mahomes or so and so forth. That's not what it is. It's a team game. So all you need is a quarterback who fits to your system, who executes it well. It's fine. There can be other good quarterbacks. We have to accept that. So that's why I'm asking it. So don't try to don't get offended when other people say there are better quarterbacks than Brock Purdy. It's totally fine. You don't have to make these arguments and move Earth and Moon to convince us, okay, Brock Purdy is the best quarterback in the NFL. No, you don't have to do that. Just accept the simple fact. He's a good quarterback. He's the best quarterback right now 49ers have. That's the only thing you need. So that's about this whole Brock Purdy narrative I wanted to address. Again, can he do next week? Yes. Can he do it in the second week of February? Yes, still he can do that. I hope it doesn't rain. Definitely Vegas is a dome. so there shouldn't be any problem. And I don't think there is rain in the sky in the forecast for the next week, so he should be fine. So Purdy should be fine. He can do it. Only thing is, team has collectively contribute. Purdy doesn't need to be carried, but he's going to contribute as long as Niners are collectively play as a team. They can do it.
Gotcha. I think they can do it too. I would like to address the glove thing and the weather. I think I think he needs to practice with it on and the ball's wet and with it off. So if it does become an issue, he needs to get the glove on, right? And then he needs to be used to it more so. The reason why he doesn't want to wear the glove is like you see how accurate he is with these passes across the middle. It might not
Yes.
be as accurate, and that can cause interceptions. And so and what I just don't understand, which here, let's get into this. It's the next
Can
topic.
we address 49ers Jive comment just about Bebop's comment? So that's an interesting comment. I think that helps our discussion as well.
Yes.
Yes, this one. So
Pre-snap motions of okay, go ahead.
yeah, so I think yes, it's concerning. It's concerning how much weather impacts Purdy, but not right now because we had the rain game. It's off our systems. It's off our schedule. It's not supposed to rain during the next week. Yes, I would be concerned if it's going to rain the next Sunday, but unless otherwise, right now I don't think it's a concern because end of the day, let's say if we going to win this, if let's assume that I hope I don't jinx it. Let's assume that we are going to win the Super Bowl. I don't care anymore whether it's going to be a concern or not. It will be totally fine because we got our Super Bowl. Maybe Purdy is not good. If we realize Purdy is not good in every condition in couple of years, maybe we can look for another quarterback. So that's how I feel about the weather concern right now. Weather thing at this moment. Yes, it's a concern. I do agree it's a concern, but not right now because next two games, if we get to the Super Bowl, it's two games, so it won't be a matter. Then the Debo, I think uh, why we struggled without Debo was not the fact Debo is an influential player. I mean, Kyle said it because he is different. We use him differently, but due to weather, since Brock was struggling, he could not connect with Ayuk. That was the biggest issue. If he was able to connect with Ayuk, because I saw today there was a couple like post game tapes that showed that Purdy was not pulling the trigger that he usually does. There were a couple of plays. Ayuk was open. I mean, I think Kyle mentioned this because even during the last drive of the first half, there were a couple of big plays. They were trying to dial it up, but Purdy didn't pull the trigger. He just, I think he was a bit concerned because the way he was playing, he just wanted to protect the football. That's totally fine because he nearly threw a pick six, so on and so forth. So I think that was the biggest issue. Even I'm not saying again, I'm not saying 49ers are fine without Debo, but with the chemistry Purdy and Ayuk have, and if Purdy can flush this game along with the rain, if Purdy can flush this game from his system, and I mean, during this week's practice, he just can relax and get back into rhythm with Ayuk, we should be fine. We have Kittle, we have CMC because passing game needs to be on top notch this week because Lions are really good in stopping the run game. So if we can build, I mean, We don't have to do anything unusual. Just if Brock can do the business as usual, we can cover up for Debo's loss. That's how I feel.
Yeah. But so what I think was the big thing was it was that I think Debo was a big part of the game plan. So when he goes out a couple plays into the opening script, I think a lot of the plays of the opening script go out the window. Now you got to figure out what plays you're going to throw in that thing to kind of figure out how you're going to read the rest of the game. This is the other thing. That script, you're going to be using Debo to figure out how they're going to play defenses when people go in motion and Debo go in motion. So those plays you can't do. Now that was you had game plans built totally around that. So I kind of give here. Let's go into the next topic. Might as
No, you
well.
just finish it. Just
How did
finish
Kyle
it.
do? I kind of give Kyle, yeah, but how did Kyle do? I think Kyle did all right, but I think he could have done better. He needed to get in his bag and start calling the run plays like normal, and he didn't. He doubled down on throwing the ball when Brock Purdy was struggling. And what I think you need to do is run the ball so he's got a crutch and then get him those easy completions after the linebackers suck up and try and stop the run. And then once he's got those easy completions, then he's got his confidence. Maybe he understands how far he can go now. Maybe he's got only got confidence for the first 10 yards. Hey Kyle, hey, I first 10 yards is good. Anything past that with the ball being wet like this, like it's iffy. I don't want to switch to the glove because then it's not I feel like I have less control over what's going on kinda. Like as long as the ball comes out good, I'm good, but like with a glove there's a little extra stick and I don't know how that'll change thing on certain plays, so I'd rather just do some short ones with the that could be worked around. It could be game planned around, and it wasn't. It was just Brock, throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball, try and win this game with Brock. And it's like you've got Christian McCaffrey on this team. You've got Elijah Mitchell. You've got Jordan Mason. Use them. Use them. Run the ball. If you're scared about Christian McCaffrey getting hurt because he's over there with the somebody working on his hamstring, which wasn't the case, um, then put somebody else in and let's run the damn ball. You don't have to throw the run game out because Christian McCaffrey's hurt. You know what I mean? We've done it
We've
before.
done it before. We did it before.
We did we did it without Christian McCaffrey. So go ahead, Warren.
Yeah, the biggest thing is like I was okay in terms of uh, I mean not running the ball initially because it was like not Green Bay was really prepared. Uh, I mean probably in the first half until the third quarter. But my biggest worry was how he managed the clock. Yeah, at the end of the second quarter, the last drive, because as far as I remember, he didn't call a timeout and burned about 35 seconds on the clock. So I was wondering, okay, what he's trying to do? Because I wanted him to go, I mean, try for the touchdown, but instead they were settling for a field goal and it was blocked. So that's where I'm worried because this is the same. This brings the flashbacks back to the Super Bowl against Chiefs. I mean, we had the timeouts, but Kyle didn't call it because he did admitted that because I mean, at the time I think game was tied 10-all, so he wanted to go into the halftime without giving the ball back to Mahomes, so on and so forth. So I think that can be a downfall. Yes, I understand his argument. Okay, I don't want to, I mean, rush things too much because it might bite me back, but he's doing it way too frequently, so it can hurt us. I want him to just, at sometimes, just go for it. Okay, no worries. Okay, we'll go for it. We'll go for the touchdown. If not, we'll take care of this thing. So that's my biggest worry, whether he will do it again. That conservative Kyle sometimes not. I think it will be unfair to say he's coaching scared, because end of the day those are like calculated decisions. If it goes wrong, then you could say, okay, what the hell he was doing? He shouldn't have done that, so and so forth. But I want him to come out of that shell and just be aggressive, because usually if you see on the other side, Matt LaFleur, all throughout, I mean, even this playoff run before that, one thing that is working for him is he's always aggressive. He wants to, I mean, get things done. I mean, he's going for the kill. Dan Campbell, if you see the way Dan Campbell coaches, that's exactly what he's doing. He's always going for the kill. I mean, he wants to take the, throw that killer punch. So I want Kyle to do that. So that's what mostly concerning me for the next week, and hopefully if we get beyond. Other than that, yes, it seemed like a bit shaky, but eventually, I mean, he overcame one of these stats. Like he's 1-31. Trailing 7 points in the fourth quarter. He won. I mean, he won a playoff game. So it all went good, but only outcome is, Kyle, please don't be too much be in the shell. Just go out, just as Debo and other players play. Just coach freely. Just take your decisions. I mean, yes, of course he has to deal with the consequences, but at least die trying.
Um, yeah, I want to address this real quick. Um, Niners Jive says we need to ditch the outside run sooner and start running up the middle. Um, it's not as good as you'd think. We have to show some semblance of the outside zone. If you watch that game, the game-winning touchdown by CMC is a zone play, and it cut back. They cut back on that, and it became inside zone essentially. And you can't get that inside zone play without the outside zone. You have to run the outside zone. And that's what sets up those massive inside zone cutbacks. So I understand what your frustration is. I get that. But I think we just need to mix it in, because we can't just give up on the outside zone, because it's what gives us a lot of great yards on the inside zone, which we saw it win us the game there. That was a great hole that CMC had. He was barely touched. He got hit a little bit, but okay. 49ers jives. He agrees. Can't give up completely. Cool. Yeah, we got to have some set. Plus, that also it works with our passing game. That's how like our bootlegs look. Our bootlegs look like outside zone. And so that's what gets the linebackers stuck going with the running back and not following the receivers that are parallel essentially with the quarterback. So it ties into our passing game also. So it's important. Oh, hold on. We had some people enter the chat, and I wanted to say hi to them. We had Crazy Juice. Crazy Juice in the building. We also had David, hide your cups, Corona. Let's see what else. Oh, we got one more. We got one more, Waruna. Save the best for last. The Lions roar. Lions played a hell of a game. We got we got a tough one ahead in them. What's your thoughts on their game and what we need to do to beat the Lions this upcoming weekend. Oh, whoops. Keep that up. You're muted.
Sorry, my bad. First thing, I'm really happy for Lions. I mean, I think you and I discussed this before that Dan Campbell is a leader of men. I mean, we literally uh, witnessing that Dan Campbell turning things around. He's just not only winning football games, he's giving hope back to a broken city. We all know what the Detroit, the community, the dire economic situation, all that what that city went through. I mean, he gives hope to that city. That's incredible. That's incredible. As an NFL fan, as a football fan, I really love that. How they are doing, but they are going to be our enemies come this Sunday. So, but uh, the way, especially Jared Goff is playing, I mean, it's pretty great because he had to prove something because he's a guy who went to the Super Bowl and the team, I mean, the Rams decided, okay, we went went the distance with this guy, but we need something better. So they traded him away. So everyone literally like, okay, he's not good, so and so forth. But even I don't think Jared Goff never got credit for what he did. Because here's the reason, right? With Sean McVay, Jared Goff's record was 42 and 20. Statistically, that record is better than Jimmy Garoppolo's record with Kyle Shanahan. But have you ever seen national media brings up, say things like Jared Goff is a winner. He went to the Super Bowl. Why can't Rams do this and that with Jared Goff? No, they are like, okay, Sean McVay is a genius. He did this. He took Matthew Stafford on. They won the Super Bowl. But Jimmy Garoppolo gets all the accolades, but Jared Goff gets nothing. So that's how NFL works. I mean, the media works and everything. But that's a different discussion. But anyway, I'm not saying he's like an elite level quarterback, but he's helping this Lions team. And they had a good draft. So they are young guys. They are really stepping up. They have a really good coaching staff. As we talked, Dan Campbell is making something special, doing something special with this team. So happy for Lions. But having said all these nice things about Lions, I think they are still beatable. Honestly, I'm less worried about the championship game versus during this past weekend. I was worried about facing Packers because it to me it was like an unknown quantity. I mean, they had nothing to lose. They were just coming here. Okay, we'll see how it goes, kind of a mentality. But I believe this Lions team. Yes, I mean they have nothing to lose, but at the same time, they are carrying enormous amount of expectation. A city that hasn't won a playoff game since 1992, they are carrying enormous expectation. By the way, they have made to NFC Championship game in 21st century, while everyone's favorite Dallas Cowboys have not. So that's another thing to put out there. But anyway, uh, I would say Lions are good. They played a really good game because at the end of the third quarter it was 17-0. But the fourth quarter it made the whole difference. Jared Goff, when he was given the football, he scored and the defense took care of Baker Mayfield. So that was the game. But I think come this Sunday, it's going to be a good matchup. It's going to be a good game. But this Lions team is beatable. And this Sunday will be the sad end of Lions' incredible run for 2023.
I feel that
I
too.
feel that too.
I feel
I feel
you might want to mute yourself. Um, I feel that we need to stop the run first and foremost. Everybody has been making that, drawing those conclusions. They're way too dangerous. I like what Jive says, take the runaway early, make Goff uncomfortable, make Dan gamble. Not just make Goff uncomfortable, make Goff have to kill you with his arm. Make him have to be the fulcrum in this for them, the deciding factor. Um, but they're definitely beatable. I think they're a great defense, but I think their defense gives up boneheaded plays and will make mistakes from time to time, and we have to capitalize on that. And we have to in turn not make mistakes ourselves. Try not to let Hutchinson make much of an impact in the game. Uh, I McKivitz. I haven't really talked about McKivitz at all this year, really, and that means he's doing good. Not to say that he's not going to give up anything, or I'm not worried about him with Hutchinson. I believe the 49ers will give him a scheme that will help him when he needs it. But I'm comfortable with him in this game right now. And we got Trent on the other side. So not that it's a non-factor. It's just I think we're prepared. He might get a sack. He might get 2 sacks. Hopefully they don't impact the game as much. Um what else? Our offense needs to get going, and we need to run this damn ball.
It
Go
would
ahead,
be
Trent.
hard. It would be hard. I think, right, probably I would say I would not be surprised. I mean, last game Brock had 39 pass attempts. I would be surprised he if he has another 35 plus pass attempts this Sunday. Probably it will happen. That's one thing. So I think just before we wrap up, a couple of things I really wanted to mention. I mean, since regarding Brock.
Yeah.
Now, what is the greatest season, I mean, in terms of passing yards? The best season for a wide receiver was by Calvin Johnson, right? Megatron. Who was the quarterback? Matthew Stafford. Then for a rookie wide receiver, the best season by Puka Nakua. Quarterback, Matthew Stafford. Now, during 7 years of Kyle Shanahan's coaching era, I mean, Niners have Pro Bowlers, I mean, on the offense, I mean, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle. Everyone every one of these players having career years. I mean, Kittle having his best year in terms of receiving yards, touchdown. Kittle is having his best year. Ayuk is having his best year. Debo is having a great year. And who is the quarterback? Brock Purdy. So you need to give credit to Brock Purdy for things he has done this season. That's why I'm saying I'm not trying to make him. Not trying to compare him to Mahomes or anyone, but we had these players. We had all these players on this offensive side of the football for multiple years, but this is the first year we are seeing all of them performing statistically at a great level, and coincidentally, the quarterback is Brock Purdy. That's something I wanted to bring up before we wind up for the day. So give man the credit that he deserves. You don't have to make him the number one guy in the NFL. That's fine, but you need to give credit to Brock Purdy for that. The other thing is Juwan Jennings. Man, he's every time we need him, he steps up. So shout out to Juwan Jennings. I hope he's going to have another killer game, and love Greenlaw. I mean, I was like, please go down, please go down. He's like, no, I'm going to score a touchdown, and but that in a way that was scary, but it's funny as well. So need to mention these guys. These are like unsung heroes. Usually, Greenlaw is a player who get blamed because he's uh, I mean, making these stupid penalties at times, like roughing the passer or unsportsmanlike conduct, so on and so forth. So 15-yard penalty. So everyone is usually Greenlow makes headlines for these penalties, not the contribution that he makes tackles on the field. But last Saturday it was great. Thank you, Greenlow. So you saved this. I mean, the 49ers season. Jennings, you are great. So, and again, Brock, as a 49er fan and just a football fan, you are a real dude, so you can do it. So just go take care of the football this Sunday. You can do it. So hopefully, by second week of February, we'll all be laughing.
Hopefully. And with that, I think we'll wrap it up. Um, appreciate everybody tonight. Everybody in the chat. Waruna, thank you for coming on again. Appreciate you. Everybody, make sure to go out there. Make sure to support other channels. Make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. Not just here, but on other channels. And you guys have a wonderful evening. Take it easy, Kim. Appreciate you. 49ers Jive, thank you for the comments all night long. Bebop, always. Don, have a good evening. Everybody else, Crazy Juice, David Corona, and CarCast, John V. Appreciate you all for stopping in. Have a wonderful evening. And we out.